Hey, this is Stacia, and I'm going to share my round two game from the Cranberry Open, which I played in November of 2022. This is a horrible tournament for me, but hey, if I only show you guys the wins, that's not very honest, right? So let's look at the games that do not go well also, and learn from them. That's the main thing. So this game, I did play the white pieces, and I played e4. He went c5. I went d4. Okay, so I was looking to see a Mora, and he played c takes d4. And I was happy to see this because the last time I faced him at the Kings Island Open, he actually played this move e6. And then we got sort of a Benoni after like pawn here. And I think take. And I went d6, c4. And we got sort of a symmetrical Benoni. a symmetrical Bomi. No, a symmetrical Benoni structure like this. And I went on to get a really nice position where I sacrificed the exchange, but then kind of continued the wrong way, got in major time pressure, and lost that game. So I was definitely looking for revenge this game. And when he took the pawn, I was like, ooh, okay, maybe he's going to accept the Mora. We'll have to see. So I played c3 and held my breath. But no, he went knight to f6, which is one of the main ways to decline the Mora. Okay, so this basically transposes into an Alapin Sicilian now after the moves e5, knight d5, knight f3. I like to play knight f3 here because sometimes in blitz people will be like, oh, I'm going to take now. Yeah, good job. You just hung your knight, so don't do that. So yeah, knight f3, and they actually can't take. And so, but in the game he went e6. Okay, and I like this move bishop c4, which is what I played. And he went knight to b6, rotating the knight to attack the bishop. I saw it was attacked, so bishop b3. Now it kind of corrals the knight a bit. It's hard for the knight to move to the squares. He played knight c6. And I think now it's time for me to capture in the center. So I went ahead and played c takes d4. I'd like to leave this as long as I can, but at some point, the gambits are not going to be good. I think if I castle here, I mean, maybe I can do this. I'll check with the computer. Yeah, it actually thinks we have compensation here still, so maybe I don't have to take, but it also says it's the best move to take. So yeah, let's see. Oops, sorry. Yeah, it does say it's the best move to take. And after castle, actually black shouldn't take. They should go d6. Okay, but then I would take. Yeah, but maybe this allows some more lines that we don't want to allow, like such as this, like take. Like if we take with the pawn now, we trade queens. I had a game like this during the pandemic in a tournament called the Tuesday Tussle. And it was very equalish. I didn't really enjoy the position. It's not really the kind of position I want with white. I mean, I guess black's a little behind on development, but not much, right? He can go bishop b7 right now. It's not really clear how we take advantage. They're going to castle next. And our e5 pawn's a little vulnerable, honestly. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. So anyway, I do like to take immediately here. And after d6, I've looked at this recently and found this idea of queen e2, which I decided to play in the game. I like this because, number one, I play this move all the time in the Smith-Morra Accepted with the idea of castle and rook d1. And we get our rook across from that queen. It's a little bit annoying for black. And this also avoids the queen trade. So, like, now if they take on d5, which I think he does. Now if he takes on e5, I mean. Yeah, now I can take back, and I've got some extra protection on this pawn, and there's no queen takes d1. So yeah, I like this a little bit better, and he went ahead and played bishop e7 here. And okay, yeah, I thought this position, I can play this position. So I went ahead and castled. Seems correct to me. He went queen c7, I guess prophylaxis against rook d1, but I'm not sure I love that move for him, because I mean, it's not that hard for me to play, like, I don't know, bishop f4, knight c3, and rook a c1. So I don't think that the queen necessarily belongs there either. But as you'll see, she does sort of create some issues for me on the c file, but not really though. Okay, so knight c3. I just want to finish development here, and he went a6. Yeah, I was thinking about knight b5, so he stopped that. But okay, let's go rook d1. Yeah, and actually, this is the first moment in the game where my one of my coaches, Livio, he said, "Why rook d1?" You know, he's like, the rook belongs on e1 in these positions. And it was interesting that he said that, because intuitively I wanted to play rook e1, because this looks like an IQP position where somehow I like captured and got my pawn to e5, and the pawn on e5, well, it's a cramping move. It kind of like jettisons the pieces out of f6. So that's less defense for the king, which means that often kingside attacks are possible. And this just feels like an IQP position, you know, just like, I don't know, I've got the light square bishop can do stuff, the knight can do stuff, you know, I don't know. It feels like knight g5 could come, bishop g5, bishop h6. There's so many different attacking ideas, even h4, h5. It feels like an IQP position entirely. So I immediately thought I should play rook e1, but then I was like, well, why? Why am I playing this move? Because I don't play moves unless I understand them. Like I need to know what I'm trying to do. And so even though my intuition said put it here, I was like, well, I don't know what that does. I'm going to stick with my plan and just play rook d1. Yeah, well, guess what? The rook does belong on e1, because my coach said it's like overprotection of the e5 pawn. But it does something else too. Like, let's say after rook d1, okay, let's say black just castles, they probably should. And let's say I just play a normal move, I don't know what, let's say this. I mean, rook d8 is coming, right? I'm going to ask the computer too. Yeah, so actually the rook being on d1 is helping to facilitate trades of pieces. And if I'm the one with the better position and the more active position, the attacking position, do I want to trade rooks? No, I don't. So that is a more compelling reason to me to put the rook on e1. But another reason is just to, this way we can move our queen away and our knight away. We'll still have protection with the rook. And the rook may someday come to e3, g3, h3. Those kinds of attacking rook lift ideas are there too. So, okay. Anyway, in the game I did go rook d1 though. He castled. And now I decided to go bishop to f4. So this move, you know, makes sense. So I decided to protect my e-pawn this way. And I just really wanted to play rook ac1 as soon as possible and get across from that queen. And I figured, you know, I must be a lot better here because of the e5 pawn and because this bishop is terrible, right? It can't move. It's not so easy to go b6 because the knight's there. So this knight's awkward too. So I felt like, you know, white must be, you know, better here. And if we ask the computer agrees. This says plus 1.4 for white. So, okay. Now it's time for the middle game. My opponent played knight to a5. So I think he wants to take my bishop. I don't want to let him take it. So I play bishop c2. And so I don't think I like that move knight a5 then, because, I mean, what's a better diagonal for my bishop? Do I want to, like, bite on concrete right here? As good as concrete is. You know, like, or do I want to go here, where I might have Greek gift sacrifice ideas? You know, we can't yet with this bishop here, but now that bishop has to worry about guarding these squares. So, I don't know. I feel knight a5 wasn't that great. But you're going to see his ideas shortly here. Queen c4. Yeah, I have to admit, I never saw this plan before. And during the game, I was like, oh man, I don't know about this. And my opponent played it so confidently too that I was just like, wow, is this good? Like, because I don't want to trade queens. But on the other hand, if I don't, maybe the queen's good here. Well, when I showed this to my coach, he's like, oh, what is this? This is terrible. You know, when their queen's misplaced. And he loved the move queen e3, I believe. Yeah, because we move our queen with tempo on the knight. Makes a lot of sense. And then he said this queen's vulnerable, you know, which is totally true, right? Totally vulnerable. I mean, there's that move to attack the queen. There's this and this. There's so many ways to attack the queen. I guess I thought there'd be knight d5 here. And so this is where I need to get better at chess, because I think I saw queen e3, knight d5, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to trade pieces. And oh, and look, if I move my knight, he's going to take my bishop. And I just stopped there and I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I'm not going to blunder a piece. Yeah, well, I should actually calculate, because look, you know, if this were to happen and we take and they take, we have this. I mean, we take a bishop with check. Aren't we just like, we're just up a piece now. We're just up a full piece. You know, there's no recapture of the knight. So we win material. So yeah, I need to look a little bit farther down the line before I reject something. But okay, queen e3 is what I should have done. I went queen d2. Okay, I put that question mark there, by the way, not the computer. This is like a weaker version of the same idea, because now we're on the file. But I thought it stopped rook d8. So my coach said, okay, it's not that bad. It's not a total mistake. Yeah, actually, let's give it inaccuracy mark. I think mistake might be a little bit harsh. Let's call it dubious. Okay, we'll call it dubious. All right, so bishop d7. Okay, and now basically the critical moment of the game, or a critical moment. At this part of the game, my clock was ticking down because I was looking for good, strong attacking moves and having a very difficult time finding them. So let's see if we can find one now. One move I would like to play is rook ac1. If we go rook ac1, what was I worried about here? I don't know. Seems okay to me. I really don't know. I guess maybe knight d5. I don't know. Let's say we take. They could take here, but I don't want to trade, but I don't have to trade. I think I did see lines like this. I mean, I'd be tempted to play queen e1 here, so that if he takes here, well, I'm still on that knight, and now rook a1 will be coming. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we could even trade here. I'm not sure. And that is a pawn. We're still on the knight. This should be good for white. Yeah, it's like winning for white. So, yeah, I don't think knight d5 can really be played. So what on earth was I afraid of here? I don't know. Maybe it was bishop b4. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I like this move, rook ac1. Let's see if the computer likes that one. It likes it a little, yeah. There. Oh my god, you've got to be kidding me. Okay, this is really funny, you guys. Because my coach berated me for the next move. It turns out it's the top engine move. Okay, but honestly, though, I don't think I understood the move because my position does fall apart soon. So the computer must see something a little deeper. I did play this move b3. I thought this is super interesting. You can see I marked it as a blunder, but the engine gave this as the top move. I just looked at it. But we are kind of encouraging black to put their queen back on a better square here. On the other hand, it's off the bishop, so that's maybe part of my idea. Yeah, and now we have to follow up with something strong. I played rook ac1. Okay, computer still likes my position quite a bit. I think my coach was saying, not my coach liked this move. Computer's also giving knight g5, which, yeah, let's look at that because I don't understand this move. Why are we playing this? I can see it's a tempo on h7. Okay, if they trade, I think we're very happy about this. I think we're very happy, even though they could take on e5 now. These pieces seem so loose and very far from the king, and we've got this possibly. There's got to be something here. Yeah, in fact, we could just play bishop e3. That attacks the knight, which is protecting the bishop. Yeah, good luck defending everything. I guess they could go queen c7. I would take anyway, right? Yeah, we definitely take anyway. Yeah, they can't do this. This just loses material. So game over. So, okay, so taking we know is not a good idea. If they just go h6, well, then we can play queen d3. Threaten checkmate. So how do you stop checkmate? Probably have to go like g6. So this is already getting uncomfortable because now we're x-raying this free pawn, which will be a tempo on the rook. So if they go g6, we can play knight g to e4. This is what the computer gives. I really like the idea of getting in here into these squares. And I definitely like the idea of taking. I mean, if they go king g7, then we just go knight d6. Here comes our knight. Yeah, if they take it, we play pawn takes. That's a tempo on the queen. Now we've got a pass pawn. Now we've got check, check. Yeah, this does look completely winning to me. Okay, so this is the kind of thing that I need to understand better. Are these moves like knight g5? That's kind of why I thought we should look at that one. Okay, but I played rook ac1 in the game. It's not as precise as knight g5. But my opponent played bishop a3. So this is why I gave this a question mark, because it's like, yeah, I don't know. Now here I can tell you that I really thought about bishop takes h7. And I'm seeing now it's the computer's top choice. I ruled it out during the tournament. So why? Let's try to calculate a little bit. If takes here, knight g5 check. Let's say they go king g8. Well, we don't have queen h5 there. You know what else we could do though? We don't have to go knight g5. We could also go bishop takes, king takes, queen d3 check. If g6, then we have a discovery with this knight, right? There's going to be discoveries with the knight. We did give up a bishop though, so I feel like if they take, oh, and they can also take with the bishop here. All right, let's look at the line. I don't want to bore you guys with my calculation. Takes, Wow, it says he has to go king h8. Now, my opponent saw this during the game, because after the game, he was like, yeah, I think you have bishop h7 there. And yeah, he was right. And I ruled this out, and I don't know why. It was not my best day. So if knight g5, we have two moves to look at, in my opinion. I mean, you could look at this, but I just feel that can't be good. You can usually rule that one out pretty easy. Yeah, in fact, like, why not just queen d3? So that one's rolled out. Okay, so how about this one? Okay, queen d3 anyway. We're threatening mate. So I feel like g6 has to be like a move you think about here. Oh, queen h3 now. Yeah, that looks pretty annoying. That looks pretty annoying, doesn't it? Okay, they could try to, like, we're threatening, we're threatening mate, wow. Yeah, and if they move the rook, then it's still mate in 2. You know what I mean? Like, if this, get that checkmate. So, wow, queen h3. That is vicious. How do you get out of that? You don't. Wow. Wow. Okay, well, that seems to work. Is there anything we could do different for black? Take, check, king g8, and we said queen d3. Okay, I don't have to play g6, but I guess we could do this now. Let's try this now. Maybe we even go, I don't know, I'll put the rook somewhere. Okay, well, we get in here. Can I go queen h8 here and takes? Now we're threatening that. And wow, if they defend now, what do we do? Well, I definitely like that. Doesn't that win the queen? That should be good enough. Yeah, how's this not winning? Yeah, I feel this should be good enough. Yeah, we even have knight h7. Let's kick that rook away. Guess they could go here, but then we come... Ooh, we don't even have to check with the queen. We could do this one. Okay, this looks really bad, right? This pawn's bend. The king has to move to the back rank. If he does that, we win the rook. And it's going to be mate. So, yeah, these ideas are just working for white, aren't they? So I missed a lot of this. I'm really disappointed in that, but on the other hand, these are the type... This is the type of attack that I need to get a lot better at. So I think I'll be going through this game several more times. This, and there's one other game where I mess up the attack very similarly. In the King's Island Open, even in a slow game, I totally messed up the attack. In the Pan of Attack game, which I think is on my channel if you want to see it. So between these two games, it's funny because I feel like I'm such a better attacker than I used to be, but clearly I have further to go, right? Clearly. Okay, but we can't stop at king g8. We have to look at king g6. This move looks ludicrous, but sometimes it's the right move. I doubt it here, though. I just kind of doubt it. Like queen d3 check. I mean, okay, like, so why did the king come to g6? Like, that's my question. Okay, maybe f5. I mean, I would want to take en passant here. Okay, can they take with the king? I mean, at the very least, we're going to win material back. But I feel like we have better... Well, wait a minute. There's a hanging queen. How about that? That's good enough. Yeah, so actually, when we take en passant with check, we just win the queen. So they cannot do that. So then where do they go? Yes, this move's ridiculous then, because what are they going to do? That seems ridiculous. Just queen h7 or queen h3. Yeah, queen h7's mate. Yeah, I like this one. I can't imagine this is any worse, right? Isn't that... Let's see. Only move. Now queen h7? Yeah, that's mate. Okay. So, wow. So I may give this position to my students because it'll help reinforce it for me too. I'm a little bit selfish. Not totally though. It'll help them too. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the rest of the game because I'm really embarrassed about it. I did not find bishop takes h7. I played this. Okay, computer says white's better, but just watch how I mess this up now. He goes here. I go knight e4. And I calculated this out, but it really is just a bunch of trades. It's not nearly as good as I thought it was going to be, because after queen takes c2, okay, I understand that he won a bishop, but I was like, no problem, I'll take a knight. And then I understand that he'll take a knight, and I was like, no problem, I'll take a knight. But then he takes my bishop, but then I can take his bishop. And I thought, okay, my rook's getting active, and I feel like this rook's gonna double up next. And I assess this position as good for me. Turns out it's just kind of equalish. And like my opponent played like this move, and I can't even take it because I get mated. Right? Like just simple back rank checkmate. Can't I move pieces? So we don't want to get checkmated. So I can't even take that. So yeah. So I have to play rook d1. And then at this point of the game, I was under 3 minutes. So I didn't write down any further moves here. But this just did not go well at all. I do believe he took like here, here, and then started consolidating. I think possibly the next rook came. Yeah, and I kind of recall him pushing this pawn to soften my knight, right? Because then if I take that, I lose the knight. If I don't take it, he could take that, I lose the knight, or my king gets exposed. Yeah, and he basically, I think he even plays this move soon. Yeah, and he just does a good job. I'm pretty sure I checked this pawn. Now my knight's pinned. Yeah, and then I just, he had like 10 minutes to my 1 minute, and I just got outplayed and lost. Wow, it says white's winning here, which is, what? Is white winning? Wow, did I really screw this up that bad? Oh, well, wait a minute. The rook's just hanging. That's all. I just didn't see the rook's hanging. Yeah. Well, believe me, he didn't hang his rook during the game. I don't know what I did here, though. I may have played something like this, worried about my back rank. And then I think he played here. This is what I think happened. Yeah, this is still good for white. I don't think this is what happened then. Maybe this. Actually, I think this is what happened. Something like this. Yeah, notice I can't play there. Yeah, it was more like this, you guys. And then I don't have time to back row checkmate them. Also, there's bishop f8 anyway. So yeah, I'm not too happy with this game. I mean, the opening, I think I played very well. Like this all was good. This is better than I usually play this opening, I would say. Black, I actually got a really nice position. But then I just failed to play good moves. Starting with, I think, rook d1. I think rook e1 is the right approach. Okay, bishop f4 is fine. This is all good. Yeah, and then maybe here I should go queen e3. Just makes more sense. We you know, get that with tempo. But I went here, it's still okay. So I'm still okay. Now b3 turned out to be the top engine move, but I'm actually going to listen to what my coach said, because the computer calculates so much that it's just calculating, and that's not what I'm doing in my games. I'm not calculating as well as the computer, I promise you. So he was giving like attacking moves and saying I should go for stuff like bishop g5 or rook ac1 or like knight e4 if I can get that, maybe even bishop e3. We looked at a bunch of moves and they all made a lot of sense. So that's what I should have did here. So I feel like this move, even though it is the tough engine move, it's only a good move if I find knight g5 right now, which we looked at. And I did not. I played here, right? And then I didn't even see this. So the computer saw this and was like, oh, that's not a problem, bishop h7. Okay, so I need to calculate much better. This is a very poor game by me, I think, and kind of a wake-up call. So I'll be going over this game quite a bit and working on my calculation, because I feel like maybe I haven't worked on it much the last month or two, so I really should get back on that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll be back with more chess. Okay, bye.